Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have 11 different stamping tutorials to share with you that I created using some stamping plates and stamping polishes from Born Pretty store, as well as a few extra polishes. All these tutorials are pretty short, so I thought I would put them all together into one stamping compilation video. If you want to skip to a specific design, I'll try to include some timestamps down below in the description so that you can use that if you'd like. Don't forget you can get 10% off your purchase at bornprettystore.com, including sale items, using my code MGL10, and I'll also try to include all the links to the products that I used down below. For all of these designs, I used my UNT's Ready for Takeoff Base Coat as well as my clear jelly stamper, and they were both from NAILSTUFF.CA. You can also get 10% off there using my code MEL10. This first design is an origami design using this adorable NICOLE Diary 135 stamping plate from Born Pretty store. I'm going to use All Hearts for the Love of Grace to stamp this larger triangular design as my background and stamp it over a white base. For every nail I stamped a different origami image, but I'll show you what I did with the crane. I stamped it first with Salon Perfect's Oil Slick, which is a black polish, and then I filled it in with Born Pretty's Blueberry Macarons with a detail brush. Then I stamped it onto my nail and applied a fast drying top coat. For this floral design, I used a reverse stamping technique, and I started off with a base of Orali's Freefall. Then I used Salon Perfect's Oil Slick to stamp this floral design from Born Pretty's Pure World L001 stamping plate. Then I used a detail brush to color in the flowers with Nails Ink Whiteout. Using the same brush, I then colored in all the leaves with a green polish from Born Pretty store. Then I stamped the image onto my nail, and after removing all the excess image from around my nail, I finished it with a fast drying top coat. For this next design, I combined a dry brush technique with some layered stamping, and I started off with a Born Pretty blue stamping polish as my base. For the dry brush part, I used Salon Perfect's Frolic with Me, and I wiped off all the excess polish from the brush, and then created some vertical and horizontal lines using whatever polish was left. To create the shadow effect, I stamped this image from Born Pretty's Flower Tango L002 stamping plate first in black polish. I stamped that onto my nail, and then I stamped the same image in white directly on top. And for this, I used Salon Perfect's Oil Slick and Nails Ink Whiteout. And then I finished it off with a fast drying top coat. This one is a very simple and minimalistic design of two hands making a heart. And for this, I started off with Orali's Ethereal Plane as my base. And then I stamped this image of the two hands making a heart from the Born Pretty Valentine's Day L011 stamping plate. I stamped this one sideways onto my nail and then applied a fast drying top coat to finish off the design. For this design, I did a little bit of layering with two different stamping plates, and I started off with 2 coats of Nails Ink Whiteout as my base. I used All Hearts for the Love of Grace to stamp this cursive letter design from this large NICOLE Diary L08 stamping plate, and stamped that onto my nail as a background. Then I stamped a few small roses from Born Pretty's Valentine's Day L002 stamping plate using Born Pretty's Dark Armour red stamping polish. I stamped about 1 or 2 roses on every nail and stamped them in different corners, and then I finished it off with a fast drying top coat. For this design, I'm going to be layering some stamping over some foil, so I'm going to start off with 2 coats of Sally Hansen's Lacy Lilac as my base polish. Then I'm going to apply a few dots of some transfer glue onto the right side of my nail, and once it's dried to a clear finish, then I'm going to rub on some of this lilac transfer foil on top. And honestly, this foil glue is not the best. It works for small areas like this, but I'm still on the lookout for a good foil glue that will cover the whole nail. Then I'm going to stamp a few images from this NICOLE Diary L21 stamping plate in black and place it on top of the foil. And finally, I'm going to finish it off with a fast drying top coat. Here's another layered stamping technique, but I think this one is a little bit more summery, and for my base I use this light green custom polish that I got to create myself at Watercolor Labs. Then using Nails Ink Whiteout, I'm going to stamp these rough lines from this large NICOLE Diary L09 stamping plate. Then I'm going to use Twinkle Tea's Terra stamping polish to stamp a few palm fronds onto my nail. And for each nail, I'm going to slightly alter the position of the fronds just so that they're all a little bit different. And finally, I'm going to finish it off with a fast drying top coat. This one is a mix and match design that I thought was really fun with some reverse stamping, and for the stamped nail I used All Hearts Hint of Hope as my base polish. This one was a really unique polish. It's got like a milky base with various sized white and rose gold glitters. Then I stamped in black this rose design from Born Pretty's Flower Tango S001 stamping plate, and using a detail brush I filled in the rose using All Hearts Mother's Love. And this is the same polish that I used to paint my ring and pinky nails. Then I used the same brush and a green polish from Born Pretty store to fill in the leaves. And finally, I stamped it onto my nail and applied a fast drying top coat. This one is another very simple stamping design, and it's probably the easiest way to create marble nails. I started off with Nails Ink Whiteout as my base polish, and then used All Hearts for the Love of Grays to stamp this marble vein image from Harunoda's L079 stamping plate from Born Pretty store. If you want to add a little bit more dimension, you can do some layering with a few different shades of gray, but I wanted to keep this super simple and just used one image and one shade of gray. And to top it all off, I added one coat of Salon Perfect's Matte Effects top coat. For this design, I wanted to create like a watercolor background for the stamping design, and I started off with 2 coats of Nails Ink Whiteout as my base polish. And for the watercolor effect, I used 3 different stamping polishes from Born Pretty store, including Summer Mints, Cherry Blossoms, and Blueberry Macaron. Then I ripped a tiny piece off a makeup sponge and dipped it into one of the polishes and sponged it into the corner of my nail. And again, I'm going to switch up the placement of each of the 3 colors on every nail. Then on each nail, I stamped a different floral image from this NICOLE Diary 144 stamping plate from Born Pretty store using Salon Perfect's Oil Slick, and finished it off with a fast drying top coat. And for the last design, I'm going to do a reverse stamped yellow spring floral design. I'm going to start by applying 3 coats of Butter London's Lemon Drop, which is a pale yellow polish and perfect for this spring. Then I'm going to stamp some of these floral designs with the vertical lines from the NICOLE Diary L17 stamping plate in black, and then with a detail brush I'm going to fill in the flowers in white and then the leaves in green. Once I'm done filling in the image, I'm going to give it a minute to dry and then stamp it slightly off center onto my nail and finish off with a fast drying top coat. Anyways, that's all for today's video, and here is one final look at all 11 designs. I hope you enjoyed this compilation style video. Let me know down below what you thought. And as always, I'll try to link the products that I used in this video in the description box, as well as any discount codes that I have. If you enjoyed watching that video, consider subscribing. I appreciate all of your support, and if you want to see some more of my Born Pretty reviews or my nail art videos, I'll include that on your screen as well as in the description box below. If you recreate any of these designs, I'd love to see them, so be sure to tag me on Instagram at caramellogram. But that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!